been getting a couple messages on social media asking what exactly is it that I do, because they see my YouTube videos and they're like, okay, well, you do this, you gave tips about that. What do you do? I don't get it. So that is why I'm making this video, is when I start to see current things like that, that tells me that I'm either not putting it out there exactly clear enough, and clarity is my thing, but a lot of my business is done behind the scenes and online where I don't talk about it a lot. So I guess here's my opportunity to let you know what it is that I do and how I can help you if you fit into one of these categories that you are looking for someone like me to help you out. I'll let you know, girl, I'm here for you, okay? So what is it that I do? Well, my business started out about 20 years ago when I was in the most excruciating pain of my life. I had a ruptured disc in between L4 and L5, and I couldn't feel my legs. Things were going really bad, and I finally ended up having back surgery. And after I recovered from that surgery, it was such a painful recovery. But I told myself, like, I don't want people to ever have to feel this way. And I mean, as a woman, I feel like we are natural nurturers and want to help others, not even as a mom. Like, I felt this long before I even wanted kids. Like, I didn't want kids back then. But I think we have that kind of intuitively inside of us. So that was where I was at, is like, how can I help others not have to go through the pain that I'm going through, or how can I help alleviate the pain that they might be having? So I ended up becoming a massage therapist and getting nationally certified. Like, I mean, this has legit been my life for 20 years. But then that evolved into more, because I would see people come on my table and there was a lot of issues that they were having that could easily be fixed with just a little bit more movement in their life. And when you're in pain, you don't want to move. Like, I get it. I totally understand that. But that's one of the worst things you can do, is be sedentary when you're in pain. So I became a personal trainer, which then, as things evolved with that, I found myself getting into yoga. When I started to get into a really deep, dark, depressive state, yoga was what pulled me out of that. It was able to kind of work on my mindset. So eventually, after practicing yoga for 9 years on my own, I then became a yoga instructor. Through that journey, a little bit before that, is when I started to realize, again, the people coming on my table, the people I was doing personal training with, they could work on their nutrition a little bit. They were having a hard time trying to understand what they should and shouldn't eat. And they were following like cookie cutter plans, and that was the problem, is they were following things that weren't made specifically for them. It wasn't tailored to their body. It was just a plan that they found, and it'll work short term, but it's not going to work long term. And that's the same reason why, like, different diets don't work for everyone. Like, everyone can't be a vegan. Everyone can't do keto. Everyone can't be paleo. Like, it just doesn't work for some people's bodies. And the industry doesn't want you to understand that. They want you to just get on to the next new trend. I myself have been through every single diet there is, probably 100 of them by now, and have a library of dietary theories and all of that I can share with people to see if, like, something's not working. We pull out and we do different things. Thank goodness my clients have been very, very willing to be guinea pigs sometimes, because if we're noticing things aren't changing and they're not getting the results that they want, there's a reason for that. So I dive deeper in it with them to figure out what that reason is. And I take a lot of principles from like Ayurvedic medicine and Chinese medicine, because that's something that I've studied for 20 years, and help apply that to it as well, because that and Eastern medicine is kind of more my jam than Western medicine. For me, Eastern medicine goes straight to the root cause. Why is this happening? Instead of like Western medicine going, okay, well, you know, cool, like this is happening, but let's just give you this prescription or this Band-Aid and put over it and not worry about anything else. Like, no, figure out why you're having the symptoms that you're having instead of trying to just kind of cover it up. That's not going to work. That's not going to solve the issues of why you have the problem. So that basically led me to the business that I have now, which I like to call it health and wellness self-management. Yes, I help you through it, but I don't want you to depend on me for the rest of your life. I want you to learn about your own body and how it specifically functions and what it does and what it wants. And through that, you can live a healthy, sustainable lifestyle on your own and know exactly, intuitively, what your body wants and how it's going to function best. Because the thing is our bodies are constantly evolving. What worked for me 10 years ago doesn't work for me now. My body is different than it was 10 years ago, as is yours. And that's the problem when we get on these diet trends and we follow all these things and they don't work. And then we think, oh, well, I'll just do this again. Well, sometimes we don't give it a long enough time to see if it is working. But then maybe we do give it a long enough time and it just doesn't work anymore. And when that starts to be the case of things that used to work for you not working now, then we start to dive into other things like your hormones, like your sleep. Like there's so many things, I call it the petal of life in my program, but there's so many things that actually affect your health and wellness. It's not just food and nutrition like we're led to believe. There's so many more things that you need to go through and understand in your life to understand how your body is functioning and how to get it to function at its best. And that's what I do. In a nutshell, that's what I do. Health and wellness self-management is what I like to call my business. And yes, you might have seen other videos in my YouTube channel or on my blog posts or anything like that talking about Beachbody coaching. That is a second business that I have. And I have been a client much longer than I was a coach, because those programs, as much as, you know, coming from a personal trainer who's like, oh, home programs don't work. Well, you know what? They actually do, and they work really well if you have that accountability and somebody to help you through them. And that's why I use it as a tool in my business, because a lot of people can't come to me in person and work with me, but we can work virtually. And that's how I work with a lot of my clients. I can help more people that way, give you the best quality training that I can when I can pull from other tools and put those into our tool bag so you can utilize that in reaching your goals. So do I find a problem with that? No. I think that anyone can go out and get a Beachbody program or any program, but if you don't have somebody who knows the material and knows how to work with it and knows how to keep you accountable to your goals and help you work with things like a coach, like myself, then it's just going to collect dust. You're not going to do it. You've done this before and it didn't work. And it didn't work because you didn't do it sometimes. And that's sometimes the only problem that there is you just didn't do it. So I do use Beachbody coaching as a tool, and I don't have a problem with that. This isn't a place for you to come in here and air your little I hate Beachbody coaches. That's cool. I'm sorry if you had a bad experience with another coach. That's not the kind of business that I run. I don't run it to be a, huge team, a, top 10 coach. Like, that's not why I run my Beachbody coaching business. I do it as a tool to help others. And do I have a team? Yes, because these people that I do help, they start to realize that, hey, you know what? I can make an income off of this. Awesome. Like, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm healthier than I've ever been. And it's helped my family because I've become a better mom. So why wouldn't I want to help other women feel the same way? That's where they go with it. And then they run and they have their own business that in times like this right now, like we're dealing with coronavirus and businesses are shut down. Like, I'm not able to be a yoga instructor right now and a group fitness instructor right now because that end of my job is shut down from Corona. We're in quarantine right now. I can't go to work right now, but I can still work from home. So that allows me to still contribute to my family. And that's what I want to do. So this is my life. This is my job, but it's something that I don't put out there very often because I just it runs like a system and I don't think about it until I get questions like this of like, what do you do? And I did have a client actually tell me, I'm so thankful that you can still run your business because you're benefiting me by allowing me to work with you still, even though like her business is shut down. She can't go to work right now because they're in quarantine as well. She doesn't live here, but they're in quarantine too. So she's feeling the hurt from not being able to have two incomes coming in right now. And Fortunately, I'm not feeling that because I can still work from home, and the women on my team are still able to work from home. As a military spouse, this is one of the greatest jobs that I could have ever had because it allows me to travel wherever we go. It doesn't matter where we live at. I can still work. And that is a huge, huge benefit for me having this job. It's always something that I have to fall back on if times like this, where my yoga instructor business, I can't do right now because of quarantine. So it's always a great thing for me to fall back on, and it's something that I absolutely love. So that is what I do in a nutshell. If you are looking for someone to be a coach, then here I am. I would love to help you out, learn more about what's going on in your life and how I can help you, because no, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you do want to dive a little bit deeper than just beyond coaching, and you need someone to help you get out of that yo-yo diet cycle, working on other things like in your mind and your sleep, other elements of your life, then that's where my health and wellness self-management business comes in, and I call that soul-powered life, because that's where you function from, is from your soul. When you're pouring from your soul, all things in life are just so much better when you can get that part of your life healed. And you can't pour from an empty cup, really. So if those are things that you need in your life, or if you're like how I was I've had 2 back surgeries now, and the reason why they were spanned out 20 years apart is because of how well I took care of myself in between those 2 surgeries, 20 years apart. So if you're in pain and need help with that, I'm here for that too. That is it. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me, and I hope you enjoy your day. If you are in quarantine like me right now, get outside and breathe some fresh air, and I'll share some tips and stuff on building that immunity. But that's also the other bonus of my life, is I help people build their immunity all day so they don't have to worry about this coronavirus and be scared. There's no need to panic. None. Zero. No panics here. Okay? Enjoy your life wherever you are, no matter if you're in quarantine or not. Thank you so much for watching. If you do see this video, it inspires you, like my channel, subscribe to it, and there's going to be more posts, so check on that little notification bell so you can see when new videos come up, because now that we're in quarantine, I'm going to be making a lot more videos to put out so I can help more and more people. Thank you so much for watching.